In this tutorial, what I will be showing you is how to actually create your very first program in our new development environment, Repl.it. Remember that you're going to use your new GitHub login to log into Repl.it. Once we're in there, I'm going to show you how to create folders to actually save your work in some logical, organized manner. And then when we're done creating our first program, how to back your code up to GitHub and see what it looks like in GitHub. So last time we got into Repl.it, you will notice on the left-hand side there's a button called My Repls. So if you select that, you'll notice that this folder is already here. We're going to go to New Folder and create a new one. We're going to break our code into separate folders, and the first level is actually just going to be the course code, so that if you take programming in the future, you can have other courses with folders. So we're going to create ICS 2.0. Under that, we're going to create an intro section, because that's the unit we're in right now. And then under introduction, actually I'm just going to go back. So we have introduction. I'm going to go up one level. I'm going to create another folder called Unit 1, just so you can see that. And then later on you'll create a Unit 2, Unit 3 as we go through. So in introduction, we're in the ICS 2.0 introductory folder. We just go over to this button on the right hand side called Add a New REPL. You select that, and then you select the programming language that you would like to work with. At the moment, we're going to be using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, so you select that. It gives you some kind of name, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to put the particular unit that we're working in. So for us, it's intro-03. We're going to leave it as public, and we're going to say create our REPL. So you click that. It will take a few moments and it'll go off and create all the files that it's necessary to create it. So this first file is right here. That is the beginning of your web page. This is the cascading style sheet, or the style for your web page, which is blank. We haven't written anything. And here is all your JavaScript code, which we haven't written anything either. So it does give you a little bit of code, and that's just a starting place. You can see that it actually has a title called Repl.it, and this is our web page over here. It's actually live. If you go to this URL, it will actually work on the internet. You can click this little tab button and it will open the page up. Now, the web page is blank because we haven't written anything in it. That is the URL, and you'll notice there's the title, which we saw beforehand. So this right here makes this title show up. So at the moment, Repl.it saves your code automatically. All of this is saved and your website is working. Later on, we will make a more complex website. What we're going to do now is we're going to take our website and back it up to GitHub so that we have a copy of it. So you'll notice the second button on the left-hand side says version control. If you select that, you can increase this a little bit. And the first thing you need to do is create a Git repository. So this will back up locally in Repl.it this current version of your code. So if you just select that, it'll go off and it's creating an initial commit, and it's trying to save that locally as a Git repository. When it's done, you'll notice this button is now selectable. So you can connect this Git repository to GitHub. So you just click that and say, yes, I would like to connect Repl.it to my GitHub account. Remember this from last time. So now you're giving it read and write permission. When we used the GitHub connection before, it was just to get your email address, but now you're connecting so you can read and write to GitHub. And now you have to click it again because the first time it just requests it. Now you would like to take your GitHub account and save it as intro-03. Now, just to make sure you don't get confused, we're always going to put the course code in front of the name, because as I said, maybe you will take programming later on and you will also have an intro-03. So we'll always put the course code and then the name of the program. For now, we'll just make it public. It's always a good idea to put a description. So this is my first web page, and then just click on Create GitHub Repository. So it's going off now, and it's saving all of this code in GitHub for us. So it'll just take a minute. When it's done, you'll notice that this is actually clickable, and you can actually click it, and it will bring up GitHub, and it will show you this repository. That's your GitHub user account. This is the name we gave it. Here is those 3 files, and if you click on index.html, you can see all the code that was written there for us. Here is the title of our web page. So that's the process of going through and using Repl.it to create a program and then save it back to GitHub.